Alright, what's up Dragon Brood? Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to be using old Jetmir, and we haven't played that in a deck in a minute. And I think putting it together with some of the legends that are making tokens, we could have a lot of fun with this one. So off the top, Jetmir Nexus of Revels is actually super cool. It's a 5/4 for 4, and it has 3 stages basically. When you have 3 excuse me, when you have 3 or more creatures, your creatures get +1 and they have vigilance. When you have 6, they also gain trample and an additional +1. And if you have 9, they gain a third +1 and get double strike. However, here, I think we only really need it to get to vigilance level. And here's why. We're going to play stuff like Regal Bunnycorn. We played this in a deck a couple of days ago, and it makes sense to be here as well. If we're going to be making tokens and whatnot, this can get very large very fast. However, if we have multiple ways to give this trample, then it becomes a real threat. As does something like Ixalan, because again, if we're going to have a bunch of tokens, Ixalan's also going to be bigger, and we would love this to be able to trample through. So in addition to using Jetmir, we're also going to use Inti, Seneschal of the Sun. This is going to give us a way to give trample, but also help us dig deeper for more cards, which could lead us to another Jetmir, which is actually pretty cool. And another way we want to make tokens in this list is going to be Anim Pakal, Thousandth Moon. This is awesome because it just gets more and more every turn, and because we have ways we can pump it, that also helps too. And we're going to be playing all of this alongside things like Gala Greeters, because while we don't necessarily need the treasure, it will help us to play multiple spells in a turn, but additionally it could be another way to gain life against mono red. And that treasure, while it sits there, does help something like Regal Bunnycorn, so all of these work really well together. And we're going to be playing some Pollen Shield Hair because we can pump creatures with one side of it and then just give all those tokens an additional +1, which is also very good. So we're going to be kind of all over the place here, but before we tell you about the last couple of cards, don't forget to check out my sponsor, Cool Stuff Inc.
CoolStuffInc.com is a proud sponsor of this channel, and you can show your support while getting 5% off your entire order by using promo code DRAGON at checkout. Need singles for constructed or kitchen table play? Looking to pick up sealed product or the latest in Magic accessories? We've got you covered. CoolStuffInc.com is the place for all your Magic the Gathering needs. And support this channel by using promo code DRAGON at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
And remember, when you use my code DRAGON over at Cool Stuff Inc., they appreciate that, which means they'll keep supporting the channel. So I appreciate y'all for that. We're also going to be tossing into this list a couple of other things. Lunarch Veteran, so we can actually gain some life and again help those mono red matchups. But we're going to be playing some Get Lost as a kind of catch-all removal. And in a pinch, if we just need to try to go for a couple of points, we can do that. And we're going to play a couple of Invasion of Gobakhan. Good way to protect our creatures and pump them up, but also can slow down some key cards from the opponent. But yeah, those are kind of the key cards we're going to be looking at today. As always, if you want the full deck list, it'll be at the end of the video. Or you can go down in the description below, look for the blue arrows. It'll take you to our Moxfield link where you can get today's awesome deck and a bunch of other cool stuff you can play with in Standard. Now though, let's go see if Jetmir and his token buddies can get us some wins. Keep it. This is not as good on the draw though, unless we find a veteran off the top, but we did not. Alright, you have an underdog. We will feed you a Gala Greeters, which is probably the safest thing we can do there. We will not block. Surprised it wasn't like Liliana or something there. Ah, Obnixilus. That makes sense, though.
I'm the new boss around here. Join me. You work for me now, runt.
Okay, this is interesting.
Defy me.
I'm going to decline to discard here, because I feel like I'm going to need all my cards. But, what we can do here is we can kill one of these for sure by playing an Inti. Or, actually, hold on. We can guaranteed kill one by even playing an Anim Pakal, right? Because this gets +1, then the counter can kill that. They'd block and kill of Gala Greeters. That sucks, but it's not the end of the world. We could live with that, I think. Wow, I don't know if I want Anim Pakal or the Inti here. I think I want to play a land first. Well, maybe I shouldn't have played a land first, actually. I think I'm going to go with Inti, because I think here I just don't lose a creature, and that's probably better for us. And then I'm just going to attack here. Discarding... This is the tough choice. Probably Witchstalker's Frenzy, just because what our hand looks like. And I'm hoping to find a Lunarch Veteran. Ah, Get Lost hurts. Shouldn't have blocked there, opponent. But we'll take it. Alright. The Shieldred time? Nope. Alright. Is Inti also dead? Because that's a real problem too. Okay. Was not good news. I mean, it was good news. Was not something that killed Inti. Okay, so next point of business, I guess we try this. Attacking here. Might as well, in case something goes crazy here. I'm actually just going to get rid of this. I don't want to get rid of Jetmir or the Get Lost, not knowing what this looks like yet. Alright. We go down to 10.
Don't think you're some big hero.
They can attack us down to 7. This is kind of a good news, bad news situation, huh? So we would have to take... We have all damage lands, really. Okay, so we're going to have to take 2 to play Jetmir, so we'd be at 8. But... let's think about this. We would attack. This would be a 4. This would be a 5. 2, 3, 4. That would be a 4. Then the tokens would be... 2 of those would be a 1 each. Man, I don't know. I think we just get rid of this. I think I'm messing around too much. Don't discard anything here. Alright. If they have a sweeper, they get us. If not, we have at least a chance to win with Jetmir next turn. I mean, that's what we came to do. To play Jetmirs, right? I mean, they can get the bat, but I think it comes back into play tapped, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's good for them. Getting 2 block. Oh, and we're going to have trample. I mean, they don't know that. But yeah, this should be big double strike turn with Anipakal here. Yep. These are the turns, believe it or not, I do kind of feel bad for the opponent because I've been in their position where you're like going through the motions, but they don't really mean anything. Because we get to attack, but then we're going to make enough bodies that this... Well, they're all going to have trample, right? It doesn't matter. They're all going to... Wait, do they all not double strike? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I'm 1 short! Oh, alright. Well, I do have to discard this then. Not really. I guess they all trample. It doesn't matter. It's all irrelevant. We'll just put it here. That's another NT anyway. Alright, good. Well, that was still nice. I just thought we were going to get to double strike. I did my math poorly and I was a creature short. So if I would have stacked those differently, I could have just paused so I could put the counter on Anipakal first, then we get another body. But Arena didn't stack those properly for me. We get to go first. We do... Alright, sure. I mean, we have... all the colors to get started. And in theory, we'll have a Gala Greeters. I don't know if it'll survive anything, but against mono white it could, if this is mono white. And we're probably going to need it, because we didn't draw a land there, which is rough. Alright. They could, like, Ossification our Gala Greeters. We're not blocking. Okay, they didn't. And we can't play Adeline here yet. So I think we just go Bunny Corn into Treasure. And I'm not going to attack in case they flash in like 2 1/1s here. Because they might just be a straight up soldier deck. Yeah. I would have probably attacked if I made it a 2/2, just because they would have had to trade 2 creatures, but otherwise I wasn't interested in that exchange. I mean, we potentially have a good turn coming up. Even more so if we get an untapped white land, because then we could actually check their hand out first. Does get a little dicey if the opponent like Brutal Cathar's here or something, though. Nope, looks like they're just going to make a 4/4. No. Oh, yeah, now they're going to make the 4/4. Tap some creatures here. That makes sense. I'm not too upset at it, though, since we have a get loss. Like, that opens up combat tricks, especially if they try to take our, like, bunny corn or something next turn. But they do not have that for either one, so that's kind of good, I guess. And we did find the untapped white land, so we have all kinds of stuff we have opportunity for here. Alright, so I say we start here with the invasion. Ooh, add a line, copper coat, huh? That's tough. I guess we stop one of these so they can't play both of them next turn. Because that would be very annoying. We can go here. And I think I want to make the treasure, just so I have a chance to do both of these, and we'll get to +1 this anyway when we attack. Alright. Let's go ahead and put a counter on it. I mean, their call. I don't mind greatly either way. Alright, that works. I mean, it's one less creature we're going to take damage from, so that's a good thing. Now we just got to draw another untapped land. A lot to ask, but totally doable. Not knowing what the opponent's last card is here, if I'm them, I'd probably play the more expensive one here, because there's a chance you get to play both of those other 2 next turn if you draw an untapped plains or something. Well, they thought differently. Fair enough. Alright, we'll just take 4, I suppose. Nope. They were not interested in trading. Sounds good. Okay. And we can give something vigilance here, which is cute. The question just is, what do we really want to do? I think we do this, because we get a first striker, which is important. Do I need the treasure next turn? Looking at our hand, we don't, so I want this bonus, at least for the immediate term. And then we're going to get another counter when we attack. Could also use this treasure just to make Adeline gross. That could be fun. If they play one of those, we take a lot of damage next turn. Alright. Let's see what they're willing to trade. I'm going to put that on... You're not going to trade enough to make this matter, are you? Alright. I didn't want to find out. Or do we even just want to attack the opponent? Nah. Like, they can trade if they want to here, and I'm kind of okay with that, really. Alright. Cool. That's actually a best case scenario. We get rid of their 2 biggest things in exchange for our bunny corn, basically. And they don't even have a good block for our 1/1 left over. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, that's great for us. Like, why would you not? Yeah, you could trade, if you're going to trade Adeline and, like, the recruitment officer or something. They want this bunny corn dead, though, obviously. Like, this is apparently priority number 1 for them. Alright, that's what I thought was going to happen. They're going to put the whole team in front? And we're going to get everybody? Oh, this is awesome. Hell yeah. Like, I would say we'll take that all day. like, that was about to be the best thing ever. I've never watched anybody shuffle creatures so much, but I don't blame them. There was a lot to take into account there. Alright, you got Thalia. That's annoying, but whatever. I was going to say, if you attack with Adeline, I kind of have to trade Adeline for Adeline, probably. Which would make sense. Yeah, I'm not much worried about anything else. We'll just take the 5. Like, that's not going to be world-ending at all. Alright, that seems fair. Now if I can just draw another creature... Man, failed. We were not good on that mission. Let's see. I'm not going to get a free creature this turn, so... What do I want this to look like? Do I want a treasure or do I want a bonus? That's going to make everything 3 power, so we probably want a bonus, sadly. You can block with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we could actually do that. Alright. We'll take the +1. That seems to make the most sense. We will pump up a Pollen Shield here so it can block. And then, since the opponent's going to block this every time if we're attacking this, as they've shown. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. Love to see it. Okay. And then we're just going to get rid of Thalia. So that would cost us 3 + 1. Sounds good. And then we get to pick off 2 more bodies. Awesome. So this has just been a battle of size at this point. We've got rid of their largest things, but they're still having to stare at our largest things. Yep, you got it. And this is probably where I trade the Pollen Shield here. Alright. Oh, come on, man. Like, really? Really? Oh, jeez. So I can only make this an 8. So they'd have, but they would have to trade some combination of 3 things for it. Sure, why not? Totally their call. Alright. Now after this, I'm probably just going to ignore the Battle of Gobekhan and just try to start attacking the opponent. Depending on what they draw here, of course. A lot of that was once I realized they were locked into stopping us from getting the Gobekhan, I could get them to dedicate creatures every turn. Whereas if I just attack them directly, they might actually just not block one time, and then it would have just been worse for us. Now, I'm holding a card. They don't know that it's nothing yet, but still. They found another land. Welcome to my club. Assuming we're going to do it again. And they find a Brutal Cathar. Look at that. Man, let us find a Jetmir off the top. That'd be sweet. Or an Adam Pakal here would be awesome. Like, we have so many cards that would be great here. Another Adeline would be great. I mean, we got infinite things. Maybe not infinite, but a lot. Okay, so here I might attack into Invasion of Gobekhan again with the assumption that they would be blocking. Come on. Okay. We could have done a lot worse there. I'm into it. This is more than acceptable. Let's make you bigger, because we're going to need to be on blocking duty at some point. Pump this up. So, I'm just doing some quick checks here. If they play Brutal Cathar, I'm assuming they're going to get rid of one of the bunny corns. We'd still be able to first strike something down, block something else, take Ooh, we'd possibly take 11 or more there, actually. So our plan would actually have to be attack this here. We actually need to do this because they either give up creatures, which means we don't die, or we could sacrifice that so they don't get to remove anything with Brutal Cathar next turn. And we still have mana open so we can cast it, because under Thalia, it still would cost you an additional mana, believe it or not. Ooh, are they for real? Oh, I was going to say, are they going to put more creatures in front of it? Alright, cool. We got what we wanted out of that, so that was good. Now I just got to find some creatures. I mean, feel free to get rid of one of the bunny corns. I don't mind which one. It's all the same to me. I mean, Halana is actually the scarier thing, as far as I'm concerned, because, like, the next thing I get, if it's, like, Jetmir or Anampakal or whatever, is a lot of extra damage here. Which, speaking of, we finally got there. This is what we've been waiting for the whole dang time. But a counter... I should be gaining... Well, we'll get the counters here to gain life anyway, so it's fine. We'll get a billion triggers because of the Anampakal when we go to the attack step. And I will declare attackers with this. Anampakal just gets first strike down here, so that's no good. Don't want that. Okay, I guess that's it. Oh, not true. I forgot. It gets an additional counter. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about the size it was now. Forgot it gets the normal one. I actually put 2 on there to start the turn. Obviously, these can all be blocked, which is okay. But if those get blocked, they're not all blocking toward the opponents. We'll see. So that's a big 11 ball. That's real. Now we're at 13. And they don't want to put the Brutal Cathar in front of the bunny corn, so that's not going to be a thing. Yep, I assume that was going to be the case. Alright. Got it. End the turn. We have somehow done this without drawing a ton of spells here. Hopefully that's not another... Okay, cool. Still alive. Actually, we might be on the front foot now. Though they do have 2 additional creatures to block with. They can activate their lands. So we can't forget that. But now if we get Jetmir, we're going to have double strike. Because we've got 4. We could have this make a pile of other tokens. And then, of course, Jetmir is also a creature itself. So this might just be it. The opponent's going to have to block actual creatures here. Oh, that's nice. Love to see that. Alright, so we're going to have a big bunny corn. Big Anampakal, which is going to be an 8. You're going to make 6 creatures that could block. Man, there's so much about to go down here. Alright, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to say, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. This is where we're at now, right? This is attacking. I'm just trying to think, is there a way they could block and not die? So, like, let's say a land blocks here, land blocks here. You could put the 2 first striker. Well, no, it would be an 8 toughness. Getting 6 things. Yeah, so we're actually still not in position to get a good attack there, believe it or not. That's not great. Man, can we only really attack with bunny corn and some 1/1s here? That's pretty gross. Alright. That's unfortunate. I mean, bunny corn would be really big, so it's all good, but they had just enough things to make it a bad attack. And then we'll send the rest at the opponent. Actually, I'm going to send 1 more there and another one there. Just to be annoying to them. I mean, the bunny corn is gigantic because we get treasure on top of getting the tokens. Alright. You got it. But this is exactly why we couldn't attack with the Anampakal. Just wasn't good enough yet. The opponent's got to throw something, I was going to say, in front of the bunny corn. That's 15. We knew that wasn't going to be a thing. Alright. You know, even another, like, Pollen Shield Hair would have been fine here. Pumping up our creatures. our tokens. So like all kinds of stuff would have been good. All right, next turn we have our Restless Prairie that's going to get to attack, pump all of our 1/1s. All right, we should be good to go now, I think. Is this when it attacks? Oh, it's only when it attack. Well, it could stack actually. We'll see how it stacks. We know how we want it to stack, but we'll see if Arena stacks it correctly. Okay, this is fine. Like, pump another creature, get some more life. We're genuinely just going to get out of the range if the opponent can do anything reasonable here. Activate this. And now we just attack, sending everything at the opponent. Yep, that's going to do it. Okay, let's try. Let's see what happens. I mean, we at least got our colors, and we have things we can play, so let's put it to the test. Well, I have choices. I guess we're going to have to hit that Invasion of Gobakhan first, so we know what we're playing around. Though they might make us discard the invasion. Oh, it has to be an artifact or a creature, actually. They can't make us play around that. Okay, cool. They also don't know we have another land, which could be important down the road. Oh, you just have Path of Perils and no second black mana. Interesting. Of course, now that I said that, they'll just top deck it here, but we'll see. Ooh, let us draw a Lunarch Veteran off the top. That would be cool. I would have appreciated that. Just to get a treasure here and now would have been sweet. Alright, let's try this. I'm going to get the treasure. And then I'm going to try to target the Galagreeters. Then we're going to go after this. I will decline to do anything there. Alright, and that's all it took. I'm assuming once the opponent couldn't kill our creatures easily with their, whatever, Path of Peril, they were just going to give up. So, we'll take it. That's why the card's in there. Okay, cool. We could work with this. Like, we're not necessarily going to play Adeline on time, but that's actually okay. I think we could live with that. Let's go ahead and play this. Actually, I'm going to play this now. Get a better idea what the opponent's deck is. Oh, well, that's very good information to have. So we can get rid of a Kami or a Calyx. These are all problematic, right? But we do have access to get lost. But I think Calyx is the biggest long-term issue, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. There's also some situations where, like, you could set up the opponent to attack, play an Adeline, you know, do some different things there. I think I'm just going to cast Pollen Shield Hair here and pass. I considered playing Adeline there, which I considered playing Adeline there, which I probably should have in hindsight. Knowing what their hand is, it would have been really hard for them to attack us effectively. Alright, opponent was not interested in our shenanigans. So now the question's just, do I want to leave up Get Lost or not? Because I could go here, attack, discard, but I don't think we want to. I think we're just going to do this. And if they found the stuff to remove things, so be it. But I feel like if they didn't, they're just going to Machiko's Reign of Truth, copy it. Nope, they had an ossification anyway. Alright, cool. Alright, no blocks. Another Invasion of Gobakhan, huh? How do we want to go about this? Alright. I mean, I guess if they're willing to trade, so be it. Discard this other one. That's not a bad card to play here, but I think we're leaving open the get lost. For two reasons, because we could either remove this if they find a land and play it, or we could just get back a big Adeline and cause problems. Or just kill that guy, which is also acceptable. Sure. That's cute. Yeah, about that. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. We're dead here. We just didn't draw anything. Okay, sure, this looks good. We can definitely work with this. Alright. Oh, you would have been good last turn. I could have had all the stuff. Okay, we can't add a line here, so we're just going to go Inti. I mean, Adam Pakal, attack with the Inti. And based on our hand... Wow, I'm actually going to discard Adeline here. That's gross. But I think I am. Alright. Falling Shield Hair, fine. That can go away. We'd much rather see a land here. Tinker's Tote? What even is that? Well, it makes 2 1/1s. That's a real thing. Alright, I guess we'll use all parts of the Pollen Shield Hair here. Pump this, because the others might just get blocked anyway. And I'm actually not going to discard anything. So if they do just have, like, Depopulate or something, we can work on getting the board back in order. Alright, because if they have it, it's got to be here, right? If not, that's just game, I would assume. I mean, you can gain 3 back, and you can block 2 things, but I don't know if that's enough. Well, it is when I do that, so... Oh, no, it's not. Forgot, we're going to get a bunch of counters here off this Anam Pakal. I'll discard this now. Make the biggest thing we have trample. And that should do it. Could have stacked those differently to get another 2/2, but this is fine. Wasn't really necessary. Okay, let's rock and roll. Well, we kind of got what we want here, so can't complain too much. I mean, it's weird when you get all these pain lands, but hopefully Veteran lives and it hurts less, you know? But we shall see. Ah, mono red. They probably want to kill a Lunarch Veteran. I can't imagine you're just going to let that sit there if you're not playing something yourself. Okay. Well, that's good. We at least get 1 trigger off this thing. Unfortunately, we'll have to take some damage. Am I discarding anything here? Ooh, I'm gonna dig deep here. That is not what I wanted. Actually, I kind of did, because I knew I couldn't play a card here. So getting a land off the top is fine, but we really want to draw one of our 3-mana creatures, is what we want. Here, they might feel... I was going to say, to either take advantage of the counter, get 3 damage in, or see what we do. Yeah, no blocks there. Okay. Now we can do some things. We do take 2, but we'll gain some back here. I'm attacking with both, I think. I will... Man, I think we're just a Jetmir plan now, so I'm willing to get rid of this. Hopefully don't see a land, because we want to land next turn for Jetmir. I'm just protecting the Lunark Veteran at this point. Okay. NT's fine. We don't want another NT here. This is usually where you see land into Godric, and then we take like 9. But if we take 9, we're going to gain a bunch of life back next turn. So I guess it's fine. Okay, that makes sense. Can't fault him for that. It was going to give us a bunch of life on the Lunark Veteran. Oh, hopefully they don't have another kill spell. They do. That sucks. I was hoping they didn't have it. Alright. We did not find what we wanted, but this isn't terrible. But we would take 2 in the process, which isn't great. But, I'd only be attacking for 5. Hold on. Put them at 7. But we'd be at 6. I don't think it's worth it. I think we just play this and gain our life back. No attacks. This also makes our Golem a 2/2. But of course, they can have other burn spells. Like, exactly. So, like, is what it is. Like, one of those unfortunate things. I guess we block here. Alright, so they didn't have it. That's good. Unfortunately, that's tapped and we're dead. Ah, jeez. That sucked. This is unfortunate. Not the worst thing, though. This definitely could have been a lot worse. We're going to go ahead and play that and play this. And the opponent does not have cut downs. Not to mean they don't have other removal, but we know they don't have cut downs here. Alright, that's fine. I'm sure they can kill a Galagreeters, but they might just want to counter it. Okay. Let's see what else they got going on. A Deep Cavern Bat. Boy, are you going to have choices. If we get an untapped land, we're rocking and rolling here. Alright, I was also going to say if they had a... something like a Shieldred, we've kind of got that covered. And if they sweep the board, then we at least get a get loss back, so that's fine. Yep, we weren't able to put enough counters on it fast enough. Deep Cavern Bat, sure. I mean, you take the Halana, right? If taking a Frenzy doesn't do anything. At least we attack and have to use it. If not, we get to play Halana and just pump something and keep attacking. Yeah, I was going to say, that makes the most sense. I was saying, you're not blocking, so here we go. And block or don't, I don't mind. Okay, let's kill this. And that way I can have my get loss ready to roll. So if they do play Shieldred here, we can kill it. Or during their end step, we can try to kill their Deep Cavern Bat. Probably won't if they leave mana open, though. Invasion of Amonkhet. Sure. I'm probably just discarding the Witchstalker Frenzy. That makes the most sense. And they're going to attack. I say you're not blocking, so let me go ahead and kill that. Alright, we're going to do what we can here. Might as well. Man, if there's a kill spell, it's coming for Helena Lena's head right here. I mean, nothing else makes sense, so if you got it, you got it. Wow, really? Huh, I figured they would at least, like, crack the maps and see if maybe you could find land. Oh, alright. I mean, we'll take it. They're just kind of uneventful, all things considered. Alright, we'll keep this. I don't know if we can turn it into anything, but let's find out. Alright, let's go with this. I think we're just going to lead with Pollen Shield Hair here till we figure out what the opposition has going on. They didn't do anything for 2 turns. That's always peculiar. Alright, let's test the waters here. Assuming there's a burn spell here. No. Okay. And that taps for mana? Huh. Oh, weird. What is this? Okay, they're not... Okay, I don't know what's happening. Like, 100%. Not even mess... Obviously, the opponent's ramping to something. I just don't know what something is. But whatever it is probably about to light us up. And I have to be very concerned. So let's go with this first here. Get the damage in we can. I mean, they've got 5 mana, 6 mana here, so they can cast nearly anything. Hellkite. Wow. And I let you play a random spell out of the graveyard? Okay, that wasn't nearly as scary as I thought that was gonna be. So they can make another body or go get a land? I mean, that being said, we're probably gonna get hit with an Urtai next, or a Tali next turn. But, you know, if we do, we do, I guess. Okay, what can we do here that's truly beneficial? If we play Adeline, we can still kill this if it tries to block. I mean, I guess we do that. It's the most damage we're going to get. I'm going to assume they have some type of sweeper. Alright. Kill that. That's a lot of damage. Alright, opponent's at 6. They can still sweep the board here if they're playing that. Nope. Alright. Alright, let's go for it. I think here, I'm just going to try to play Invasion of Gobakhan here on 2. And then just play both creatures on 3 and try to set something up after that. I think is going to be our strategy here. Which looks like it might work out. So let's see what they've got that they would be playing for 4 mana. Dinosaurs. Okay, and we can't gain life. Wow, that's a pain in the rear, isn't it? Well, that's something. Wow, dang it. Alright, that's not what you want to see. I mean, the good news is they're probably just going to play the Paleontologist here first, but... Bleh. That is... Okay, well, I mean, that gives us an option. Though, I think if we're going to do it, we still just stop, big guy. Find a way to deal with the others. Especially since I have an Iganjo and a Witchstalker Frenzy. Yep, no blocks. Bunnycorn, okay. Don't worry, I'm not going to worry about that life too much. Get a treasure. No attacks. All right. Now we're set up to do some things next turn, possibly. This is where an Anim Pakal would actually be pretty sweet. Or a Jetmir. That's the other option. Don't hate that either. Let's get a +1. Because why not? And let's see if the opponent's interested in blocking with anything. I don't know that they are, but we'll find out. Oh, interesting. So they're going to put both of those in the way. Cool, cool. I don't hate that. All right. Now, we know they can play a Hammer Skull, but we can possibly have a bigger Bunny Corn if we're lucky. Okay, so we have this. And then... Alright, opponent just gave up. Yeah, so there our plan was going to be just attack with Bunny Corn and give up probably the Eiganjo. And then if they try to double block, we would just Witchstalker Frenzy something. And then after that, we're golden with these over here on the side. Yeah, so this worked out pretty well overall. I would say if there's a concern, believe it or not, like the weak link sort of felt like Witchstalker Frenzy. Mostly because even though we could use it for one, we didn't usually. And if that's the case, then a lot of times just having another Get Lost is probably better. So I'm willing to cut the Frenzies altogether and maybe play... I mean, I guess if you want to play exactly 60, this is probably the way to go. However, I do think there's a lot of times, just because of all the sweepers and everything else, that Invasion of Gobakhan is actually a pretty worthwhile card. Definitely won some games, even in pre-testing before I even started recording with this card. So I'm fine at 61, y'all know me, but that's probably the way I would go. NT, Gallagreators, all this all makes sense. Sometimes we had too many Inties, so if you don't own Inties, I would go ahead and play another Gallagreator. I think that would be fine, and actually even be helpful in a lot of situations, just to make sure you could, like, 2-spell on the same turn, where you might want to use, like, Pollen Shield Hair, play Anim Pakal, whatever, right? Like, stuff like that. Or, if you have those turns where you can Helena, and then Pollen Shield Hair, you can make something else really big and then finish off the opponent, so that could be a thing, too. But the only thing with lands, I wish I could play more Jetmir's Garden, but the concern is when you get the gardens in your hand and you have like Sundown Pass or something else with it, just really unfortunate because you end up with lands coming into play tapped. But as for the list, we played 4 Lunarch Veteran, 4 Get Lost, 3 Invasion of Gobakhan, 4 Pollen Shield Hair, 4 Regal Bunnycorn, 4 Inti. Again, could be 3 Inti, 3 Gallagreators, but we played 2 Gallagreators, 3 Adeline, 3 Anim Pakal, 2 Helena and Helena Partners, 3 Jetmir, Nexus of Rebels, 1 Eiganjo, Plains, Sekinzan, Boseiju, just a bunch of different lands, because you kind of have to make this work right now. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun, and you can have some games that you just come out the gates quick, but I think if you want to survive those sweepers, one of the things I would recommend as well as if you wanted to is you could put a couple more creature lands in the deck. I think right now I'm only playing one of each of the proper Restless lands that we could play. So that could be something worth considering as well. Could give you a little more oomph, I guess, after a sweeper, which is pretty nice. But other than that, maybe more Invasion of Gobakhan to kind of solve that problem. But just understand that those matchups can be difficult. You just have to know what you're playing around and how to be careful with your cards. But yeah, if you want to do something with Jetmir, this seems like a good use of them, especially with all the things that can just make tokens and go wide. And now for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Deranged Hermit. Now, I bring this up not because of any real reason. I think I'm looking over here now to see what the card's even going for, and it's actually about $30 now, which is crazy. But the interesting thing about the card, though, is that it was one of the original cards that was almost like a meme card in Magic. There was a handful of them, but because of a writer named Sol Malka, he wrote an article called The Rock and His Millions, talking about a particular black-green deck, which is why now you'll hear people refer to black-green decks as being The Rock, when really, if it doesn't involve some creature making a bunch of tokens, it's probably not a rock deck. It's just some Golgari something or other. But really cool. Just figured I'd give you some history on a Magic card. And if you had some fun in today's video with the Regal Bunnycorn, I actually played it in a blue-white list recently, and it was surprisingly good, and you didn't even have to play control. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.